In this video, we talk about my 2017 Adepticon experience. What up, mini people? Adepticon for me is a way to grow as a miniature painter, and this year I did that in two main ways. Number one, I took classes. The first class I took was Advanced Airbrushing with Matthew Suish, and what I learned in this class was how bad my airbrush is compared to the Sotar 2020. So I could really test out a higher quality airbrush to kind of see how it performs, to see if it was worth the value. So that was good in and of itself. I was also able to learn how to apply gentle highlights and shadows as to hide airbrush grain. He also taught us a cool way to quickly clean our airbrushes, and I also learned a cool way to undercoat the miniatures so that it looks like there is muscle fibers running underneath the flesh. My second class was Real Metals with Fabrizio Russo, and we painted a Xanagor, I don't know how you pronounce it, from Silver Tower. And in this class, I really learned how to be bold with the colors that you use to shade true metallic metal colors. To be, just to kind of get out of your comfort zone and really push the saturation of your shadows to make a metal a lot more interesting than it can be. My third and final class at Adepticon was Speed Painting Display Quality Miniatures with Rafaela Pica. And this class sounds like an oxymoron, but it really delivered on what I wanted it to deliver on. And that was painting miniatures for board games or individual characters in a fast way that results in a good looking miniature without too much time invested and getting bogged down too much in the details. The class was about 2 hours long, and it was a painting demonstration. Rafaela painted a miniature from Zombicide in an hour and a half from start to finish, and he passed it around for us to see the intermediate steps so that we could ask questions and kind of learn more about the process. In the last couple of weeks, I have really been hitting this topic on the head, speed painting, by practicing with my own miniatures from a Cool Mini or Not game called The Others, trying to get faster and faster with all my miniatures and trying to improve the process for myself. The second way in which I planned to grow as a miniature painter is to get real-time feedback for the pieces that I paint from painters who are much better than me. Adepticon is great because it gathers a whole bunch of really good painters, and if you happen to have something in the display case, like this year I submitted a piece for Crystal Brush, you can say, hey, Rafaela, or hey, Matt DiPatrio, or hey, Matt, or hey, Ben, look at that mini in the cabinet and tell me what you think of it and give me feedback. And if you're a nerd like me carrying around a camera, you can even go so far as to record some of that feedback so you don't forget it. The other main reason I like to go to Adepticon is to ask all my favorite painters a bunch of stupid questions and record it and put it on the internet. So let's do that.
It's like being put on the spot. Well, I like a new board game coming out, Wander.
If I have to pick one, it's probably at the moment Zombicide Black Plague.
Probably my favorite board game this year has been Wonder.
Oh my goodness. At the moment, I think the most popular board game at my house is the latest Call of Cthulhu board game.
I'm not a player.
Okay.
I'm just a painter. I like it all.
I like playing Shadows of Brimstone and Zombicide. Two favorite board games.
Board games?
Like, I play Infinity, but I like Zombicide Black Plague a lot. It's super fun. Yeah.
And we play a lot of Talisman.
Okay, nice.
And for a while, like, if whoever won the Talisman match, I'd paint their figure.
Oh yeah?
So now we have a painted set of Talisman.
That's awesome.
And that's how I started doing the sketch style, my fast way of painting.
Off the top of my head, Kingdom Death.
I'm also an avid Hearthstone player.
I just support them all on Kickstarter and then like paint 5 of the models.
Okay.
You know that one movie?
That one movie, yeah.
But from the recent ones, I really like Doctor Strange. Visual effects were so innovative with the symmetries and the buildings and everything. It looked so cool and like, interesting effect. I even thought about like putting this into a miniature project.
Jeez, man. Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie comes to mind. I just like to escape when I watch movies. I watch like weird comedies most of the time.
Okay.
My absolute favorite would probably have to be Ever After with Drew Barrymore.
I guess like Akira and Fight Club.
I would have to say, I'm just gonna go with series because Lord of the Rings is just such a influence because they're just like the original 3 Lord of the Rings movies are just masterpieces.
I think Fight Club.
Fight Club, okay.
Yeah, and too much. It's so hard to choose.
I can't think of the names of movies. Star Wars.
There you go. Nice.
Let's say, what is that movie called? Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
Let's throw that one on the
All
list.
right.
We'll just put that on the list to make people think I'm cool.
Yeah.
A silly one from my childhood, Space Jam. Space Jam, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a World of Warcraft player.
Okay. No, I do no shame.
Yes. Neuroscience, the natural sciences. I love bugs. Everyone knows that. I climbed Kilimanjaro in December.
Really?
Yes.
So outdoor stuff is a lot of
Outdoor
fun.
stuff. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I like to play sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
It's a long time that I don't play sport because I'm a father now, so I don't have so much time.
If I stop moving, I fall asleep, so probably sleeping, or skateboarding, playing paintball, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about nature and the outdoors and the national parks in America.
I like working out.
Working out. Okay, yeah, clearly. The Iron Gym, yeah.
That's a new thing, but yeah. Of course, I want to say a lot of wrong things, like I'm not even gonna say it. You know, I'm about to say it.
Spending time with my wife. It's not a hobby, but it's a passion.
My favorite singer, author is Tom Waits.
I listen to a lot of like EDM kind of house, but I really like kind of just that like I'm trying to think. It's more just like relaxed, kind of more jazzy without being like so in your face. So that way I can kind of just jam out.
I like Diane Ward, for sure.
I've been listening to a lot of like ugly black metal, like Archgoat.
Okay.
Take is still one of my faves.
All right.
But yeah, they all have weird names that like aren't real words, like Migma and Mizmor and whatever.
But I'm really a big Foo Fighters fan.
Okay, cool.
I can always listen to that. 9 Inch Nails is one of my all-time favorites, so more into the rock direction, but yeah.
I didn't just ask stupid questions, though. I also asked questions regarding the miniature painting community that had been weighing on me in recent past.
I think Patreon's pretty cool. Anything that allows artists to, support themselves and, get the support they need to do the art is going to be positive. Because, doing this as a living is, really difficult, and it can be really discouraging when, you're making really great work that you're proud of and people really like it, but then it's still not enough, so I totally get it.
I see both sides because I want to do my own Patreon.
Yeah.
I'd like to be making my own YouTube videos and stuff, but obviously I did them for free with Adam and stuff.
Well, I've been doing it privately. I released a painting DVD with Dark Sword. But I mean, I do like the idea of a platform where you could share your tips and tricks and get paid for it.
Yeah.
So I think in general I support it. I wish I'd known about it earlier.
I think it depends, because there are still a lot of information that is free. It's not that all information has turned private. So I think you can still find most of the basic information for free, like how to apply color to miniature, how to make a wet palette, all kind of these things you will find online. And I think if you are interested enough to spend time with painting miniatures, then spending $5 or something on a video, because the stuff is not too expensive most of the time.
Right, yeah, it's pretty accessible.
Not so bad. I think it's good because you can also support the artists, and or the content creators, let's just put it like this, content creators in any sense, they create content for the community. So it's good if those are also from the community, if they do it for a hobby, so they don't have to take any money for it, it's nice. But I think just the added value, like the production value of a good production, it just costs money, and it's good to support those people. So I think it has pros and cons. But as long as you can find most of the information for free, as long as this is supplied by someone, I think it's absolutely good that you also have sources for information that you pay for and help people to develop new content.
Yeah, I think it's, I agree. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that it's important that artists have an outlet to make money because, of course, we have to feed ourselves and put a roof over our heads. So it's a really great way to make money and kind of keep the cost of it low for everybody. You know, a lot of people have just that $5 buy-in where, you know, they're not having to kill themselves to, you know, get that content. But I also think having a certain amount of free available content, especially for beginners, to get them educated and knowledgeable about what they're doing before you start to give them more information is vitally important. Because if we close that off or we make it inaccessible at all by attaching a price tag to it, then we have the potential of not having those people really come on board and really become a part of the community. And at the end of the day, that's really what we all want, is to get the community bigger, kind of that one big happy family kind of thing.
Yeah, I like this kind of movement. Okay. I really like because it means that in this kind of ambient, there's a good feeling to choose each kind of media. You can do a lot of things. You can study a lot of things.
Hopefully the tutoring is worth the price. Right. It almost like adding a price of admission kind of separates the people who really want it. But I don't know. It's weird to bring money into it and just say like, well, if you don't have $20 and you can't learn how to paint, it's a double-edged sword, I'd say.
From loving it to hating it? No, because very early on I realized that I needed to be able to hate my job. Okay. So there are days I hate painting, and I'm okay with that.
Why do you need to hate your job?
Because you can't love it all the time. Okay. And when things get difficult, like I did the Zombie Side Kickstarter, and so I had to paint almost 2,000 zombies. Wow. That takes a long time. It took 8 months, and most people simply can't do that. So there were times when I woke up and I just wanted to cry and and I really didn't like my job, but I kept doing it because I figured, hey, if I was working at 7-Eleven, I'd hate my job every day, and I'd never love it. So if I allow myself to hate it a little bit when things are tough or I'm just not feeling it, I generally love it way more than that. So
that's fair.
It's better than going, hey, I have to love my job because it's my hobby, and then realizing you hate it eventually, and then now you hate it. Right. So I allow myself to hate it, and I love it.
It's like one day I'm like, why did I do this to myself? And another day it's like, oh, it's the best thing ever. Yeah. So it's just ups and downs. It's normal. I think everyone has it, even in the normal jobs. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're like, oh, why did I study medicine? I hate being a doctor. The next day it's like, oh, but I could also be a trash collector. Yeah. So
I start as a hobby. Okay. So it's not different. It's not different. The only difference is that if you do it as a job, you have to do everything. Yes. Everything. If you do it as an hobby, you can choose what you want to do. Okay. If you are lucky, I'm very lucky. You can choose everything you want in your job.
It was great to be able to do it full-time for a little while. Working as a studio painter full-time really gets you the discipline to finish things and move on. It's not great. Get over it. Yeah. But at the same time, once I was done with studio painting full-time, it was a huge release because I got to do things and make them perfect and make sure that I love them. So it's good to have that balance, I think. Okay.
Yeah, man, that's turning your strongest talent into a career.
Yeah, that in general, like illustration or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I balance it out and paint personal projects, but
oh, that's good.
Yeah, there is definitely a point that I hit. Like I talk to like friends that are just hobbyists, and they churn out, like they're not thinking about competitions and stuff. Like my buddy recently, for Infinity, you need a high value target in HVT. Okay. He made, what's her name, Seven from Stranger Things or something, like the little girl. Yeah. He like sculpted that, he's painted it so, and it's awesome. Like, it makes me laugh, you know, and that's something I wouldn't slow down to do. Right. Or like painting a whole table of scenery, or like, you know, customize an entire personal army. Yeah. I see that and I'm envious.
It makes it a little bit more like work, but there are some commissions where you are just working because it may not be your favorite thing, but you're still enjoying it because you're challenging yourself. Or it may just be like what you said, just bliss, where you're just like for instance, my barbarian was commissioned, so just could really dive in and really go crazy.
Painting miniatures, it's a creative job. It's a very cool job. It has very nice moments, especially if you are your own boss. You have to decide what to do, but that's also like the catch. You are your own boss, so you have to control yourself. You have to be constant. You always have to push yourself, and nobody is telling you what to do. So sometimes it can be, I don't have to. I'm still doing fine, so today I just play computer games. And that's dangerous because you always have to keep yourself under control and kind of stand behind yourself with the whiplash. Like push yourself. But then there are those moments when you just paint and everything is just like being a hobbyist, just enjoying it and going away, and you don't want to stop, and you don't have to stop because it's your job, so you can do whatever you like.
Yeah, and you can paint for 14 hours a day like you did for your piece.
But then on the other hand, sometimes you think, if I just have a 9-to-5 job, I come home and I can do whatever I like. I don't have any financial pressure, so you could do any project you like. So I think that's the pro and con.
I attack it, so non-metallic metal. I just did every single thing I did for a month was non-metallic metal. I painted a huge army and I painted it all non-metallic metal. Most people can't do that, but I had it because of work and stuff. I just did it until I figured it out.
Very aggressive.
Just aggressively going after it. I'm not afraid to fail a lot.
I think for me that was color theory, because I don't have any classical training as an artist. And the way I overcame that was by learning how to mess up real fast. Is essentially what I call it. So I'll print out a photo of what I want to paint, and then I'll try out various color schemes on that very quickly to see if they fail. I guess the motto is fail fast.
The biggest problem that I had, honestly, was, there's two things. So one was something that we all struggle with, which is contrast. Yes. Of course, kind of getting over that hurdle is kind of like that first big, I have contrast, I did it, and then you just go crazy and everything has super black and white contrast. So that was something where getting past that was really helpful. A lot of the old painting Buddha stuff and a lot of just, the community of painters really helped push me in the right direction. The other thing was my confidence in my painting, and kind of, at first I felt kind of limited by the existing style and structure, and I had some of the European artists influence me, specifically Alfonso Vidales, Banshee, and kind of pushing me in that direction of there are no rules. If you want to try something, try it. If it fails, it's okay. Learn from it and move on. So that was a big part of kind of what's helped me get to this point, and just meeting so many people. This community is already so great, and
So the biggest barrier for me personally that I always encounter over and over again is more like a mental thing. Techniques, not so much. I mean, technique is just a matter of practice. Practice it, you get better. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but you know that if you continue practicing, at one point you will succeed. So it's nothing that puts pressure on me, in my opinion, or shouldn't put pressure on anyone. Technique is just the way to your goal. But which goal you set, this is much more important for your mind. For example, do you aim at winning at a contest, which can put a lot of pressure on yourself, and that's hard to deal with? Or do you plan to, for example, finish an army, which can also put pressure on you? So if you boil it down, I think the biggest problem that you may encounter is pressure that you put on yourself, either for competition winning or for finishing something or for finding good ideas, and you put pressure on yourself. And now I'm a little bit older, like I'm not super old, but I'm 32, so I paint for quite a while. And in the beginning I was putting much more pressure on myself. So I still remember the last time I was at Adepticon, not winning for me was like a big issue. I really had a hard time dealing with it, and I really had to reconsider and kind of step away from myself a little bit and try to observe my thoughts. And I really noticed that some things are just that I did were just not good for my own mental health, basically, or for my well-being, you could say. So I think that was the biggest obstacle, like putting pressure on myself because I wanted to be the best one, or I wanted to make the most creative thing and come up with new ideas. And right now I'm more relaxed about it. I'm more about my personal development, setting my own goals. For example, the entry that I did this year, I finished because I had the feeling of accomplishment for myself. I never did such a huge sculpture, so it was something new. I wanted to try it out, and the reward is already given to me by finishing it.
Right.
So just by the creation, I already got my mental reward, basically. We're all like animals. You want something, you get a treat, and you get positive feelings.
Dopamine hit.
Exactly. So
going,
it's all the same. And I think it's important to be very clear for yourself and be honest to yourself also where you want to get that kick from. And I think especially competition goals are very dangerous because you can never guarantee that you win. Especially in a competition like this, where it's like a first, second, third prize, and then it's done. If you look at the entries, you have maybe like 10 entries that all deserve these 3 spots. In more another way, it's just a matter of taste. So how can you guarantee it? It's not possible. So if you rely on this goal, it's very dangerous.
There's no way to measure talent. I want to take a moment to thank all the people that tolerated some random dude walking up to them with a camera, sticking it in their face, and asking a bunch of questions that they didn't expect. I don't plan any of these things. They're all impromptu because I'm not an adult. But they all took it like champs, and they were all willing to answer my questions. So to everyone who did an interview with me, thank you. You can't talk about conventions without talking about the loot you got, so let's do that now. I demoed Infinity and had a lot of fun with it, so I picked up an Infinity starter set for the Yujing faction. As part of my class with Matt Swish, I acquired a Seagirl bust from Nico Galaxy and a set of Minotaur tints. As a direct result of this very same class, I also picked up a Sotar 2020 from Badger. Finally, I also picked up the full Scale 75 paint set and the Metal and Alchemy set. 15% off plus free shipping is probably the best deal I'll ever find on the set, so I jumped on the deal. Enough about Adepticon, let's check out someone from the community's models. Doing it live! I love doing it live! Let us have some letters. Who we're gonna do? Let's do... Oh, Cujo. Cujo submitted something. Cujo, you dog! Oh my god. Well, in typical Cujo fashion, he slams it out of the park. Looks like he did a Blood Bowl miniature, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal. As usual, this guy is knocking it out of the park with everything he does. I am jealous of the quality he gets and just the amount of results he gets. It's not evident just from this one picture, but he also paints things pretty quickly, and he finishes them pretty fast. Cujo has a YouTube channel. If you want to check him out, it's in the description below. He's a great painter. He makes fun videos. Be sure to check him out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. And also check out last year's video I did for 2016 Adepticon. It's a similar style video. If you're a fan of the channel and want to support it, I have t-shirts and stickers you can buy on my Redbubble account. Subscribe or die. And most importantly, don't forget to paint more minis! Look who I found at Adepticon. Remember this fucking guy?
The majestic man on the phone.
Didn't care about the Blood Angels that I painted for him. Son of a bitch. As a miniature painter. But more importantly, don't forget to... Don't forget! Ah! If you like this kind of video, I have a similar video for last year's Adepticon.